Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. It is a fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. There's actually a part 2 to this law, which is do not commit to anyone, stay above the fray. Do not let people drag you into their petty fights and squabbles. Seem interested and supportive, but find a way to remain neutral. Let others do the fighting while you stand back. Watch and wait. When the fighting parties are good and tired, they will be ripe for your picking. You can make it a practice, in fact, to stir up quarrels between other people and then offer to mediate, gaining power as the go-between. So again, looking at this we can look at this from two sides. One is to inoculate ourselves against people that are deliberately using this law against us. So, I've come across people in my life that do actually actively and deliberately create conflict between two other parties so that they can actually either split up that relationship that might be in their way or come in and offer to mediate and therefore appear to be the nice guy. So being aware of that, there are people that actually do deliberately or possibly unconsciously use this particular strategy. So being forewarned is being forearmed. And equally, if we looked at how we could use this law in a way which fits in with our values and beliefs, and more than likely the people who are watching this season with me will have very similar values and beliefs to me, which would be around creating win-win situations for long-term relationships, then quite often we might be in a situation where business colleagues, business clients, even personal friends are in conflict. And they will actually attempt, either consciously or unconsciously, to draw us in to one side or the other, which can lead to a number of real key problems. I mean, I have a particular situation in my life where two very good friends actually got into a big fight, and I actually, they were both my friends. I wanted them to both remain my friends, and even though they were heading down a line where they were no longer going to have a friendship or a relationship of any kind, and right at the outset, I actually said to them, okay, here's what works for me. What works for me is being both of your friends. And I said this to each individual, being both of your friends. And that will work for me as long as one of you doesn't ever come to me and say, if you want to be my friend, you can't be friends with the other. I said, if either of you ever do that, I'll immediately drop you as a friend and remain friends with the other one. Now, that was a good number of years ago now, possibly like 15 years ago that happened. They'd never made up. Though the thing with it is that neither of them have ever drawn that line on me and said, if you're going to be my friend, you can't be friends with the other person, which has meant that I've managed to maintain a really good and strong relationship and friendship with both parties, which actually is a kind of like a different way of interpreting Robert Greene's law number 20, which is not to commit to anyone. Equally, what you could do is you could commit to both sides, but separately, with an agreement.